Hi, hello, namaskar and namaskara. You're tuned into FM Rainbow with me, Rashmi Shetty. In our studios today, we have Bangalore-based author and motivational speaker Disha Sangani. Her debut book, 90 Steps Towards Beginning of a Journey, has been a bestseller across the globe. Firstly, congratulations, Disha. Welcome to the studios. And how does it feel to be a best-selling author worldwide?
Thank you so much, Rashmi. It feels amazing, and I still feel contained, and it's a different experience altogether. You know, you are the bestseller, and sometime few years back, it was just a normal routine kind of life, like any other person. You just go to work or you have certain things. But when I decided that, I'm going to take up my passion and I'm going to start writing, I published my book. I never actually imagined it's going to be the bestseller, because my motto was to reach out to people, to inspire them. But then I'm really, really happy that it's one of the best-selling books across the globe.
Oh my God. Disha comes across so controlled and completely in a place of peace. But trust me, for the voice that she's putting across, she's really young. Balancing a corporate life and being an author, that to a best-selling one, is quite tough. And what makes Disha extremely special is the fact that her second book is out. Congratulations again, Disha, on your second book, She Dared to Dream Through Her Eyes. Now tell us, what is this book about?
Thank you, Rashmi. This book is all about a girl who dares to dream in her life. She dares to achieve her dream, bring her dream into reality, and know the purpose of her existence in the universe. It's very important that we dare to dream. We might have a lot of dreams. It could be small, it could be big. It could be stupid when you share it with people around. But then it's your dream. If you know you can achieve your dream and bring it into reality, you can be really successful. So people who love dreaming, people who want to achieve their dreams, please do read the book. You will know how to face life and how to dare to dream through your eyes.
Okay, Disha, your protagonist is Diya, who's, according to you, an average performer. So this tag of average is something that we see all around us. Not everybody comes under the successful category. So the main person in this story is an average performer. What is she all about, and what is the story all about, if you can take us through?
Diya is bubbly person, who is all the time laughing, and, she has been brought up in a very good family. However, as she starts growing, she goes through a lot of things from her childhood, and slowly as she is growing from her child to teen, she ends up with a tagline of an average in terms of her looks, in terms of her education. So, and from her teen days, when she goes to her work life, it's the tagline still continues. And then, thereafter, Diya faces a lot of personal issues as well in her relationship, which is a big concern in today's world, that, people have a breakup and they try to commit suicide, and, they break up in every other aspect after they break up in a relationship. But then Diya is something different. When she had a breakup, but then what different did she do, that she faced the world and she realized that she has a bigger dream apart from being an average tagline, apart from having a breakup, or being not so great in anything. So you need to read the book to know more about Diya.
Oh, that I surely would. But you know what, Disha, what comes across to me is April 7, 2017 is World Health Day. And this year, 2017 especially, the theme is Depression, Let's Talk. And according to WHO, India has the highest suicide rates amongst the 10 Southeast Asian countries, and depression is one of the leading causes to this. So going by what you're saying and what the world has observed about India, this seems like a very relevant theme to the society that we have today. Is somewhere the society we are living in the reason or the inspiration for you to take this theme?
Definitely. So like you see, when you turn around yourself to people you stay around, the people you come across, you will actually see that every other person is actually under depression. Some openly speak about it, some don't speak about it, and some people just suppress themselves out of depression. But what people don't realize is if you don't speak about your depression, you're actually going into a deep trouble. By speaking about depression or by telling that, I have some issues, you do not become a victim. People make you a victim, society makes you a victim, but that's not the reality. So when you actually read the book, Dia also goes through depression. But there's a twist in her depression, When she's going through depression, she is actually knowing the fact she's undergoing a depression. She herself, contacts a counselor, talks to a counselor. So in such case, in Dia's case, Dia knew that she's under depression. Very important to know and to be aware with our changes in our behavior. Do we get proper sleep? Are we having a good appetite? How is our emotional behavior? How is our mental strength? You might not realize, but there are a lot of symptoms which come across. So at least if you are aware that you are, going through depression, please speak to people you trust. And if you do not want to talk about your depression to the known people, the best you could do is talk to a counselor who's a third person, who's going to listen to you, who's not going to give you any opinion or anything. So it is very important you talk about depression. This book talks a lot about, how Dia goes through depression, but then how she comes out of her depression. Sometimes you might have your family supporting you, sometimes you might not have your family supporting you. Here it is very important to know that your family should know you are undergoing depression. If your family doesn't know the fact that you are undergoing depression and you're trying to hide and behave normal to them, then it is very difficult for them also to be very normal with you, because they don't know what you are going through. It's very, very important to be aware of what you are going through, changes in your behavior, your emotional, your mental, and your physical. Very important. And if we realize, it's better we try to find a solution for it or talk about it to someone. Very, very, very important. When you start talking about it, trust me, 50% you will feel relieved. You'll feel nice. And next 50% takes a little time. But then at least you have someone to hear you.
Okay, and when it comes to depression, they say they go into the shell and it's difficult to get them to speak. So from whatever you have done as far as research is concerned to get it into this book, what have you noticed that people have said when they go through a depression? What are those typical symptoms, and what do people around them need to notice in order to bring them out of the shell? Because the more they get into the shell, the less they're able to come out. So to pull them out at the right time is very important. So from your research, what have you found out? What are some of those typical traits people should definitely
more than research, in my real life, I have come across people, and personally also I have faced it, and I've seen people close to me faced it. So when people are in depression, they try to behave normal than what they are. They try to laugh and smile than what they can actually. So, and they overeat, or they don't eat at all. They don't get sleep during night, or they have some kind of issues, So when you find people around you who just talks about, they have no interest in life, or they're very depressed, they want to watch like sad movies, or they just want to close themselves in a room and don't want to talk to people, don't want to mingle in the society, don't want to go out with friends, they just want their own space. It's somewhere a sign that you are somewhere getting into depression. Spending time for yourself is different from getting into being lonely. So there is a huge difference. I hope people don't get confused. Spending time for yourself is quality time, but then getting into being lonely is a sign that you are getting slowly into depression. It's very important if you have friends, where you observe someone is someone's behavior is suddenly changed, someone is overeating, someone is not having good sleep, or some kind of disturbance in terms of your studies, you're not able to score well, or in terms of your work, you're not able to work, there's something bothering you, you're not able to talk to people around you, you just want to be yourself, and you just don't want to do anything, all you talk about is completely negative, you start becoming very pessimistic, you don't look around for positive things around you, you start behaving quite weird. So when you start observing such things, please help people to talk to them. Don't ask them, are you in depression? That's a wrong thing people do. Don't ask anyone, are you in depression? But just try and understand them and talk to them, like any normal conversation that you're going to have with someone. Just have a very normal conversation, as what is happening, or how is your day going, or you want to go out. So maybe a person will try and talk to you about what is happening, but do not ask someone, are you in depression? Or do not make fun of people who are in depression or who are undergoing counseling. A lot of people in India feel that undergoing counseling is, your life has come to an end, so don't talk to this person because he or she is mentally challenged. So I really don't understand this concept. What is so harm if you want to talk to a counselor? A counselor is a third person whom you can trust. Not that you cannot trust your own people, but sometimes you need that space where you want to talk to a third person who doesn't judge you. Very important, do not judge anyone. All of us go through in life some kind of depression. So put yourself somewhere, if you had to go through this, it's the same with the other person. So just be kind. Don't show sympathy, but please have some empathy towards them. Very important. Know the difference between sympathy and empathy towards a person who's undergoing depression.
Wonderful, because in your book also, your protagonist Diya has multiple breakups. She has stumbled, yet survived. Yet she has dared to dream to find the purpose of her life. But for me, the curiosity factor when I went through the trailer of your book is Mini-Me. And Mini-Me plays a very vital role in Diya's life and helps her. And Mini-Me as a character is there from the beginning with Diya till the very end of the book. So does Mini-Me represent somebody within us, without us, outside? I'm curious.
Well, you have to read the book to know who Mini-Me is.
But a little trailer, please, what Mini-Me could be. And
Mini-Me is part of each and every being in this universe. So this is the hint.
Okay. Disha, you're a very young person. But I'm just wondering, what is it that you've seen around you that made you go into such a deep subject, yet very important subject, about understanding the self and finding the true purpose of one's life?
Well, Rashmi, thank you so much for the compliment. Being young is nothing to do with the outside world. I always tell everyone, if you're really happy internally, it's going to show, on your face that you're very happy. So what I say is that, we have a very less time and there's so much to do. So maybe I cannot, reach out individually, personally to too many people. But at least through my books, I want to reach out to as many as people and tell them, hey, there's nothing wrong to have a breakup. Hey, there's nothing wrong to be depressed. There's nothing wrong to be an average person in your education, in your looks. So what if I'm an average looking person? Does that stop me from dreaming or achieving something? When I see people around telling that I'm not so good looking, so I think I cannot do this. Or, I didn't score well, so I doubt I can get a good job. But what people don't realize is, your talent gets you a job. Your marks don't get you a job always. This is something that people really need to understand. If you're talented and if you can identify your talent and what you're passionate about, trust me, you will do much, much better in your life. So, all of us see a lot of things, and it's the same with me. I have come across college life, work life, school life, and I've seen a lot of things, and I sometimes really feel bad, and I don't know what I can genuinely do, I cannot go to each person individually and do something, but at least through my writing, I can help people, at least if I can pull back those people who are, on the verge of depression, or I can at least bring someone out from depression or help them dream, I would be really glad. And trust me, this inspires me to do my writing. And guys, this race is just going to go on.
As a parting thought, Disha, your book is all about hope and dreams. So what is it that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Dare to dream and bring your dream into reality.
So with that, it's time for me, Rashmi Shetty, to sign off. You were listening to Disha Sangani, author of She Dared to Dream Through Her Eyes. You can contact her on Facebook and Twitter or write to her on disha.sangani@gmail.com. That is DEESHA.SANGANI@gmail.com.